Hey, I'm most welcome here. So today we're going to learn how to do a very quick countdown timer in Python just using one module, and this is good if you're actually starting out as a code newbie in Python. So let's get started. If you're new here, my name is Ronnie Atwaire, aka AfroBoyTex, and I'm glad that you chose this particular channel for this kind of content. So let's start by importing time. Then I'm going to create a function. I'm going to call it countdown. You can name this function anything that you want. So that countdown is going to have a while loop as we listen in from the variable that we're actually going to see later on. While t, this is basically going to be an integer coming through. While this time, for example, if the user has put in, we want to perform some functions. So what we're going to do, we're going to divide this maybe 2 minutes and seconds. I'm going to use a function called divmode. Divmode takes into arguments a dividend and a divisor, and argument 1 is actually dividend and argument 2 is a divisor. So this returns a quotient and a remainder. So we shall also have a variable called timer, because I'm going to assume that we shall be dividing by 60 seconds. Then this timer is going to help us actually do some formatting. So I'm going to put here maybe 2 decimal places that we shall be using, then 2 decimal places, then we're going to format this with our minutes and seconds. So basically this returns a tuple. This div mode returns a tuple. We're just passing through here now seconds. So after that you can actually maybe be able to print a timer. Yeah. So one last thing before we call this function, let's first call its function here. We're going to call it with maybe t, but this t is going to be an integer, so we shall wrap this into integer. But before we call this function, we need to have an input from the user. So I'm going to call maybe this t. You can call it anything. So let me just say let me call it something else. Let me say let me call it time with this underscore, just to differentiate from our module here, time. So time with an underscore is going to be an input, and this input is just basically going to tell the user, please enter time in seconds. So please enter time in please enter time. You could say please enter time in minutes, since you're going to convert this into seconds. So in order to have actually space maybe after that, we're going to end this with a new line. We can end this with a new line here, and then actually we may not end this with a new line. Let's just do another print statement. Let's just create another print statement. It's actually going to end with a new line, and this new line you can actually choose to have 2 lines. Just multiply this by 2 and then you call our function. But remember here you're having a while loop, so that means we should be able to exit. We should be able to exit the while loop. So to exit the while loop, this is simple. I just have to call a function. Remember we haven't used the time. The reason why we imported time, we want to first sleep every second. Maybe we just say first maybe time sleep 1. Then now we can actually be able using this shorthand to decrease this time. So for example, if I put 50, I shall be decreasing this. So this is what basically is happening here. We just be decreasing this number, so as we can actually be able to exit this loop correctly. So here now we can actually print our time. Then here you can just say let's print our timer. Here you can actually say So here you can actually say lift off, something like that. If for example it's a spaceship, you could just say lift off. So as we exit the while loop, so let's try running this, and just to be sure if everything is fine here, this input comes in here, I put it here on time. Yes, then we wrap it as an integer because it has to be worked on. So let's test this now. So I'm going to go to where this function is. I'll just say dir, I believe it's here, so I just say if I clean this, so I can run, it's called ctimer, enter time in minutes, I could just say 10. So you see that we have a throwback error, we have an issue here, key error 02D. So that means there's something that you're doing wrong somewhere. So we need to be able to identify this. So if you come back to a place, we see where is the error coming through, on timer, on format, minutes and seconds. So let's go back and see. Minutes, seconds, timer, print timer, dot format, minutes with seconds, 02D, 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 02D. So that error could be coming through from here. Yes, the formatting here is not friendly actually. We need to wrap this alone, then wrap this alone, then actually need to input this here. So let's go back and run our program. Enter 10. See here now, the problem is it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, but it's actually printing it over and over. So if it is 100, it will go up to 100 and then maybe you lift off. We don't want this. We want it to actually overwrite in the same line without moving down. So to do that, we can maybe come on print timer, we just say end. We shall end this with a carriage return. So it's gonna be as escape character R. So basically here just overwriting this in the same space where the other function is. So let's try that and see. PC timer, enter 10 seconds. Yes, it's now working. So currently it's working. Let's see if we shall lift off. Yay, we lifted off. We lifted off actually in the same space. So this is so far so good. Maybe let's see if we didn't print these lines, and then maybe we add some little padding. We could now say could add an F string here, then do this, just make it beautiful, then come do this, then do this 1 2 3 4 5, then close. So let's try that and see. Then yay, our timer is working. 4 3 2 1, boom, lift off. Now the problem is we have this 0 1 coming through, so we need to be able to remove that. To remove that, we need to figure out what to do. So the timer remains there, but then it also continues with this information. So let's try to see if we can, if we copied this, and brought it here, what would it do? Let's see. First clear this, run 10. It's working, but it's still doing this. Okay, let's see if we can actually, remove this, and then you're good to go. So this is a challenge from me to you. I'll be able to remove these, so that actually this variable is replaced by this. And yeah, that's it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please subscribe, like my video. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.